Hi guys, welcome back to Sassy VBLOGs. Don't know why I had to do it that noise, sorry. Welcome back to Sassy VBLOGs. This is vlog number 4, which means we've been doing this for 8 weeks. No. That's crazy. Anyway, which means we've been doing this for 8 weeks. 8. Whatever it is, I've had 4 different hairstyles. That's one thing we can definitely all agree on, right? Yeah, so welcome back to Sassy VBLOGs. This week we are doing inspirations to us. So each every 4th vlog we're going to talk about people who inspire us and why, and like what they've done, and just kind of give you a little wrap up, a little history, a little ting. Jen has written up a write up about Shonda Rhimes, who is our absolute fave, and I am doing it right now about Ava Duvernay. So okay, I might be pronouncing her name wrong, which is like racist. I don't know, it's just not good, is it? Absolutely good. I'm going to turn down the light. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Yeah. So Ava Duvernay. Ava Duvernay is a director and writer for the screen and cinema and Netflix. And yeah, she's just done lots of amazing things. So I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about like why I like her work and what I was gonna say what it means to me. I guess so. Sure. So Ava Duvernay is great. The first time I actually saw her work without realizing it was hers was a documentary called My Mic Sounds Nice. It was like, my mic sounds nice, you know, like Salt and Pepper Tram, which like sample, you know, JoJo's on her first album, there's a track that samples the Are you ready? I was like, whoa, you know, when you hear that, you're like, oh wait. But yeah, that track, My Mic Sounds Nice, is obviously an ode to female rappers, and that's what the documentary is about. It was a VH1 doc. I remember watching it on TV and I was like, oh, this is great. And then later on, years later, I found out it was Ava Duvernay. That's kind of like style, and the reason, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Like, why would you make a film about like female rappers? But the reason she did that is because Miss Ava Duvernay also was a female rapper back in the day, which brings me on to another doc that she made kind of around that same time, which is called This Is the Life, which is about the good life, which is kind of like how do I describe it? It's like, it was like a scene, and it was like in a cafe in LA, and all like the top rappers used to go there, and they'll go on stage, and if you get on stage and you're not hot, they're like, please pass the mic. It used to be on Netflix, but it's no longer on Netflix. I don't know why. I don't have the answers, but it's a good watch. And I think like when you watch things like that, like she was, for me, I think it's really great to make things that you know, that you can talk about things that you know with all your heart, that you were there, like you feel it, like you can express your feelings there, as well as express and understand and have like empathy for all of your subjects in a film that you're making. And that's basically what The Good Life is about. She's not just talking about a place and a certain amount of time, she's talking about an experience she's gone through as well, which is great. And it was good, and you had to see a little young Eva with a little like tiny little locks, like before they were like cling, you know. And it's like, it's a good doc, it's good, it's really interesting. I would 100% recommend it. And like kind of moving forward as well, she hasn't stopped on the documentary front. I think for me, her docs, she also directed Selma, she also directed Wrinkle in Time, massive movies, and lots of other films that when I googled I was like, I'll add it to my list. I will add it to my list. But for me, the 13th is absolutely flawless. Like, I think in the time that we are living in right now, everyone is like reading and finding out things that they didn't realize before. And for me, the 13th brought a lot of stuff I wasn't aware of in one space, which I appreciate. I love education, and to make something educational and interesting and beautiful and moving all at the same time, exquisite, masterful, lovely. You should watch it and be like, whoa. And I think for a lot of people it's been on their watch list because it's on Netflix and it's part of the, what is it called, Black Leads thing, great, I don't know, it's part of the Black Lives Matter, I don't know, it's part of that section on Netflix because it is quite quite yeah, it's quite potent. And it also, she has absolutely no fear for taking shots at Trump. Like, she goes absolutely in. I believe it was made in like 2017, 2018, and so that was like right after Trump was elected, or even maybe 2016. I'm gonna find out and put it there online. It's a really great, it's a really great, and if you're wondering what it's about, I actually didn't bother to say what it was about because I presumed there. And if you presume, you make an ass of you and I. You and me. If you presume, you make an ass of you and me. Assume. If you assume, you make an ass of you and me. I think I heard that from my wife and kids, you know, back on the day as a youth. So that's why I didn't have the lyrics right. But it is about the 13th Amendment, and the 13th Amendment makes law that all men, so basically it's the ending of slavery, right? And it makes all men equal, and all men able to vote, and all men, you know, have rights. However, it takes that right away from anyone who's been in prison. And as you should know, in America, black people are imprisoned at an alarmingly higher rate than white people. And while they're in prison, they're stripped of their rights. And when they come out of prison, they're still stripped of their rights, which increases the chance of them. This road's loud tonight, you know. It also increases the chance of them re-offending. So they're kind of stuck in a cycle of like crime and just their whole existence is disenfranchised. Their whole existence is made more difficult by the fact that this amendment was written. It goes really in. It goes into about the birth of the nation. It goes into the KKK. It goes into absolutely sort of everything. If we were to do like what I love to watch on Netflix, I can do a lot of these, but the 13th is always on there. It's so good. It's so moving. It really shook me, you know, to my, like, I was really watching. I was like, rah, like, I think it's really interesting to have systematic racism explained to you as a black person who's aware of it anyway. But I can only imagine what that's like for someone who presumes they know nothing, who claims to know that racism doesn't exist. And it's great. So if you're watching today and you don't know that the world is racist, have a watch and learn. So 13th, 100% would recommend. And another series also on Netflix, When They See Us. Fam. This is actually covered in the 13th, I think. Just a little bit, or like briefly. But it's about the Central Park 5, also known now as the like a more positive word 5. The Innocent 5. I don't know. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so the Central Park 5, once again, if you don't know, in the 1980s, a bunch of young boys, ages 13, 14, 15, I think the oldest was 16, were accused of brutally gang raping a woman to the point that she had severe brain damage in Central Park one night when they were out with their friends, being little boys, basically. They were all arrested and interviewed illegally without their parents, and got and served long amounts in jail, especially the oldest, who was 16 years old and actually had a reading and education age of a lot lower. He wasn't a very intelligent young man. He wasn't, not because of lack of education, but maybe because of special needs. And he actually just went to prison to be with his friend. He just went to the jail to look out for his younger friend. He was trying to be responsible, and he ended up being tied up in all of this mess. And he didn't come from a family who had the right lawyers to defend him, or the right people, and kind of none of them did. All of them were from the hood in New York, and it's a really heartbreaking story because they were actually exonerated with DNA evidence years later. And the people who were involved, like the police and the investigators and stuff, have questioned the accounts in the film. But whatever happened, you know it's wrong. Some of them actually swear to God that despite the DNA evidence of only one person's DNA being found in it, the person who admitted to that crime, despite all of that information and that person being a serial rapist, besides that information, some will still claim that simply he was one of the 6 that did it, and those boys did do that crime. And it is a really it's done really well, and it kind of does the time of the crime and what happens when they come out, and then what happens when they're exonerated. The exonerated 5. There we go. Yes, I got it. Oh, it took a while. So it's just a really, I think it's a 6-parter, and I watched it. I was getting my horror did as per, and I watched it the whole time, and I was sitting there in between a large Ghanaian lady's legs, crying hysterically. Because my God, it is very, very moving. It's heartbreaking. It does break your heart. A lot of people say they can't handle watching it, but I think it's important to kind of watch pain. Not like constantly, like not like I can't watch videos of people being, I couldn't watch the George Floyd video. When I did, I cried hysterically. I couldn't, the other day, another video came out and someone getting shot 7 times in the back in front of his kids, and I literally flipped the phone around. I was like, I can't do it, so I completely actually do understand if people can't watch it. Like, I do get that, but I do also think it's important for people to see that, to see what like can happen when you don't have justice on your side. To even acknowledge it. So even if you don't watch it, recommend it, because there might be someone out there who can handle that, you know. But yeah, very, very moving, and it's just like great stuff that Ava does. And she's like also just like really stuck by them, and she's like constantly supported them. She didn't just make a film about these 5 people and then move on at all. No way. Which really is like a testament to her character, I think. 100%. Another thing I'd 100% recommend by Miss Ava. This actually is a drama. I did say I'll stick to docs, but I've kind of gone into dramas, haven't I? I'm a liar. I'm inconsistent. But When They See Us. Sorry, not When They See Us. It's because I've written it down. Could never do a teleprompter, boy. I did the wrong lines there. Could never. Queen Sugar. What? 3 seasons of absolute fucking beautiful people on a plantation. No, it's not like that. It's on a former plantation, and it's about like a sugar farm. Bare things happen. Like, there's a good like affair in the middle if you just want the drama. If you're here for the drama, there's drama. But also it's really powerful and really shows what happens when you have Black directors and Black showrunners and Black show creators filming Black people and showing what they look like, their language, their voices, the casting, everything about it is just quite beautiful. I cannot wait for the next season. Drama's peaking that show, fam. It's like, there's just a lot that goes on that like it's good. It's good. She's good. But yeah, those are just a few things that Ava has made that really inspire me and make me want to be a better creator and a diverse creator. I think with me, I work on documentaries. That's what I do for a living. That's what gets me paid. That's what paid for these earrings and my nails. And to be honest, this hair. But I want to make the best things possible. And outside of work, I'm trying to push really hard to like think of ideas. And it's good to know that you can do drama and docs just as well as you do. Like, you can do them as well as each other. You can do them with so much passion. And they're just good. And you can have Black subject matters and still have it be good. And it doesn't have to be historical. Although Selma didn't get the accolades it probably deserved. Or how the program is being appreciated by the people, and eventually the people rise up and cause a big change, right? But yeah, I didn't mean to speak for 40 minutes. When I first started speaking, I thought I wouldn't be able to speak for this long. But it turns out I can speak forever. As my teachers in primary school used to say, Satema can talk for England. Is there anything we can do about that? And the answer was always no. Okay, that was Sassy Jam's vlog for today. Yeah, and it was lovely chatting to everyone. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you watch all of those things that I mentioned, and I hope you enjoy them and learn. And if you don't learn, you get the hot tea from the, the dramas and stuff. But yeah, thank you very much, and keep watching, keep it sassy, like, subscribe, share. Happy Wednesday. Hump, hump.